I spent my childhood in houses my dad built. Back then, I didn't think much of it. I'd roam around construction sites helping him out, never realizing I was learning something much bigger. Years later, I found myself standing in a rundown townhouse about to take on one of the biggest challenges of my life.
It's Layla from TheBlock and
Ham.
from TheBlock.
A year ago, my wife and I made a huge decision. With some leftover money we could borrow, we bought our very first investment property, a 45-year-old townhouse. It wasn't much to look at. In fact, it was in bad shape. And after the excitement of buying it settled, we faced a big question. What now? We had two options: hire professionals and spend a fortune, or take a risk. I had no experience, no plan, just an idea. What if we renovated it? I figured, after all those years of watching my dad, how hard could it really be?
Guts to do what you guts to do. All coming out. This is going to be a massive job. You would not believe what I just walked in to find. So we just got off the phone to our tenant, and it turns out he's actually leaving the property a week earlier than we had anticipated. So that means it's go time and we've got to start buying stuff today.
Yeah, we only have a couple days left before it gets started.
This weekend is going to be a big one where we start figuring out all the real things that we need, get the real costs together, start talking to tradies, all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty exciting, but I guess we're a little bit overwhelmed at this point with all the jobs we have to do.
Let's go! We're gonna wreck it.
So let's go rip some shit up.
Yeah.
It's so hot. Winter ended like a week ago. But bloody Queensland weather. Alright, back to it. Good thing I married a badass.
Yeah, baby.
So we've just spent about an hour ripping up all the carpet off the stairs, and I've hit my first little hurdle, and it's these bloody staples. If we keep the staples in, it's gonna stick out and make the vinyl pop too much. So we gotta pull them out or hammer them in. So we're getting there, but there's just like 100 staples per step, and it's a lot of staples. So I guess we'll just keep doing it. So I've pulled one laminate up, and turns out there was another laminate underneath, and the second one is even more stuck down because the glue is obviously 40 years old, so it's just rock hard, and it just keeps tearing up all the laminate as I'm going. So that's going to be great. And then I've got to deal with this absolute monstrosity of a mess that's sitting underneath where the oven was. It's not fun. Not fun at all. So we've just finished the whole demo process for the kitchen. All that was left last week was the cabinets, but after I looked inside, they seemed too good to throw in the bin, so I just chucked them up on Marketplace. Someone hit back straight away, came and collected them and took them down for us. So we literally got paid for someone to take the stuff away.
The first few weeks went well. All of our spare time was spent ripping things up, even spending our first wedding anniversary tearing up carpet. But with her working full-time and me mostly doing nights, I knew I'd be spending a lot of time here alone. As the days went on, more and more issues started showing up. I knew that the bathroom had previously leaked twice before we bought it, and the deeper I got, the more I realized this was going to be way harder than I thought.
Finally finished the demo process.
We just went to Bunnings and did a bunch of ordering for patching up all the holes in the walls. Now it's time for sanding and getting ready for painting, the most exciting part.
So it's getting exciting, it's starting to get into the fun stages. I'm still sitting in a construction site, but not for long. Let's go. Okay, let's sand some shit. This is so much fun, even though I'm probably doing a terrible job. We've already used 10 litres of paint on our ceilings, and we've only really done about 50% of the ceiling coverage. For some reason, every time we paint the ceilings, we come back the next day and it's really streaky and it looks terrible.
Yeah, this is day 4 of painting the living room and it looks worse than when we started.
So exciting. Yay. Everything is costing a lot more than we're thinking now that we have to go and spend more money, and it is just, it's a lot. So, okay.
Oh, and one last thing, it's Layla and Hamish from TheBlock.
Maybe. It blows my mind how little care people have put into this previously. It's not hard. I'm learning as I go. It's just sad to see how much work I have to do because they did a bad job. If I've learned anything through this whole process, it's that there's always hiccups. Every job is always a lot bigger than intended. Alrighty, so we're back in the townhouse now. We had about 3 weeks off. We went over to Bali and had a little break, which was really nice. And now we're getting stuck back into the painting of everything. So today we're going to tackle painting this stairwell section, and it's a very fiddly area because none of the stairs on the corner are square, so it's hard to get the ladder to fit at a comfortable spot, and it's a pretty dangerous little stairwell, so we'll see how we go. Whoa, not like that. So we just started putting down our hybrid flooring in the upstairs bedrooms, and it's so crazy that a coat of paint and some new floorboards has totally changed the space to look so nice. We've just had a few really big days, and I've had the waterproofer come in, and he's done the whole waterproof bathroom, he's done the downstairs toilet and the laundry, and man, things are starting to look really, really good. Happy New Year, everybody, 2025. I've just woken up nice and early, heading over to the townhouse. I'm getting a little stressed about the time frame of this project because it is January now and we started this in September when our tenant moved out. So it's been 3 months where Layla and I are paying for 2 mortgages by ourselves just off our wage. I also only work casual hours, so it's getting a little stressful.
By this point, we'd hit our budget and the pressure was really setting in. Every paycheck was going straight into materials or tradies, and unexpected jobs kept popping up, throwing the timeline further off track. But with the finish line finally in sight, we didn't have much choice. We just had to keep on going and give it everything we had.
We finally got our kitchen cabinets delivered in, so we're at a little bit of race against the clock right now to try to get this whole kitchen in and ready to go, and the bathroom cupboards upstairs by Monday so that we can get the tilers to do the splashback up there. Let's go! We're nearly there!
Check this out, we have finally, after 3 months, got some install progress. We had a huge day yesterday with 3 tilers coming out. They have installed all of our floor tiles and the shower tiles, which is looking so good. I didn't really film too much of this stair planking process because honestly I was waiting until I got the hang of it to start recording, and I never really got the hang of it. It's been really, really hard. I've got 1 spare plank after all of this. Very lucky to just scrape through. So what are you doing out here today?
Picking up sticks, picking up rocks, picking up all kinds of stuff.
Any studs in here?
Looking at him.
So like every single step in this process, nothing is ever easy. The drill will not go through it, it's just hitting through the gyprock, and I'm thinking there's brick here. Yay. We're going on to hammer setting, boys.
So as you know, the sun rises in the east, which is that way. I already knew that. So it's the start of February and we are finally getting ready to lay the tiles in the kitchen. We're gonna do the splashback today.
Should look great. We're just gonna figure out how to do this.
It shouldn't be too hard. We were watching YouTube this morning.
So the tricky part is we're gonna have to be really careful around the power points because I also don't have a grinder with us today. It's over at my dad's house. So we're just gonna have to leave 2 tile spaces today, attach everything else, and then come back when we have the grinder because that's the only way to do it.
Unless I go on the block, I'm not doing this again.
It's a big batch of pancakes. Yesterday, I came in with my dad, he brought his grinder and we cut a whole bunch of the tiles around the power points and the mismatch areas that we needed to fit in. Plumbers come in as well, and now we have sinks, we've got a dishwasher, we have running water, we've got toilets, everything is back on track. We've also got lights on now, so it's really finally starting to feel like a house again, not a construction site. What a process. During that I was absolutely panic mode because I was so scared of the grout setting and I was sweating heaps because I closed off all the windows. But it looks awesome. I'm really impressed with that. I think it looks great. You would not believe what I just walked in to find. Things are so close to being finished and I just was coming in to admire my grout work the next day and check up on it, and I found this huge water leak on the ceiling. You can't believe it. The tap upstairs in the bathroom must be dripping, so I've just frantically ran to turn all the water off and drain the taps, and I've got a plumber coming. So annoying. It is Sunday morning and we are gonna finish off the kitchen today. Fuck, it's still leaking. We just had the plumber in yesterday. It was the pipes up in the bathroom underneath the sink that were dripping, so they took the extenders off, re-glued everything. We did a water pressure test and everything. Shit. I'm gonna have to turn the power off. We're gonna have to take the lights down. We were nearly done. This is fucked. Gotta call a plumber. We should just sell the place. I'm just waiting at the front of the complex for the plumbers to arrive. I was lucky that they could squeeze me into an emergency slot this morning because they have to come and address this big leak in our kitchen ceiling. So that's super fun. I can't wait to see what they say. They're gonna have to cut a big hole in the ceiling because they've already done everything they could from the top side in the bathroom. So now I'm incredibly stressed out. This is the waste pipe we can see and it seems fine. It seems like there's no damage to it, there's no cracks, it hasn't been leaking. So it's coming from somewhere through that and then it's dripping off here. And we've already caused this big bloody hole in the ceiling. And now they're probably gonna tell me it's coming from underneath the tiles. I don't know. But this is really bad. Far out. I am absolutely defeated. More defeated than I've been this entire process. I don't know what else to do. I've had the plumber out 4 times, and then today I called in a water leak specialist because that's what the plumbers advised. Obviously that didn't go well. He couldn't find any leak because it's so small. We've taken the whole toilet out yesterday with the plumbers, made sure that was not the problem, and that's ruled off. Absolutely obliterated my cupboard, which was finished. This room was perfect, ready to go. All these pipes is the back of the vanity, and there is nothing, no moisture, no leak, it's all dry. This is truly the worst case scenario for any renovation, is to have finished the whole thing and then find a huge, major problem. So that's another day where I just did nothing, followed a tradie around and was told that the house can't be fixed. So I'm gonna head off, I'm gonna go to my other job, and I'll be back in the morning to try to sort it out all over again. This is truly the worst. Oh, shit. What am I gonna do about this? You really know you're screwed when you have 2 professionals that have been doing this their whole careers come out and tell you that it's just completely fucked and that they've never had to deal with something so hard to track. Like, what do you do then? You completely lose all faith that you could figure it out by yourself. Like, I just have nothing else to give. So we found the leak. I don't know why it took so long, and I don't know why it took so many professionals to come out here to have a look at it before we found it. But thank the gods, we found the leak. It was actually behind the toilet this whole time, which is so funny because we had the toilet completely removed, we had it tested. This little L piece has had a tiny little leak in it, and it's been leaking down between the tiles and the waterproofing, running under all the tiles and dripping through the kitchen ceiling. So it's traveled quite a long distance, which is why it's been so hard to find. But we finally figured it out. We're in the clear. So today's pretty much patch up day. Patching up all these big bloody holes in my walls. Yippee. These 3 holes are all sanded, patched, ready to paint. Time to move on to the kitchen ceiling. I'm gonna give it a quick sand, and then we're gonna do multiple coats and try to smooth it out. Look at these glasses. Completely fogged up. It's hot up there. So I've patched it up again, round 2, and it's looking good. There's still quite a few big streak lines on it, and that's perfectly normal. So I'm just gonna wait for that to dry and then come back again tomorrow, rinse and repeat the same process. We've glued in 3 new tiles. Just to toot my own horn for a second, I got that hole first try. Super impressed by that. I think that's pretty cool. And if we step back from about here, all those little imperfections are going to be hidden, and I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go. Disappears. That's good. How cool is that? Well, I've just finished painting the patch-up job in the kitchen, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think that's great. It's actually looking really good now. It looks like an actual house. I am so blown away right now. Nearly done. How good is this?
Yippee!
Man, this is so cool. We did it. Finally finished the townhouse. And it's 8:30 in the morning and my parents are coming over at 9 o'clock to have a little walk through so I can show them all the work I've done. But once it's clean, we're done. Mum and Dad are coming. It is finally the day. I can't wait for my mum and dad to see. This is really exciting. I'm actually so stoked looking at this kitchen, and I can see in my head what it used to look like and all of the thoughts I was having about what I had to do to fix it.
Sometimes, life hands you something broken, and without meaning to, you begin to put the pieces back together. Not just the walls or the paint, but parts of yourself you didn't know needed fixing. This house, it taught us patience. It taught us how to keep going when the finish line disappears. And somewhere between the dust and the doubt, I remembered why I started. Not for profit, not even for the outcome, but because I wanted to become someone who doesn't quit. Someone my younger self would be proud of.
Sometimes the things you're most proud of in life are things that you didn't plan for. Whether it's emptying the dishwasher or doing full house renovation, the best thing you can do is just try it yourself. Because at the end of the day, the only thing stopping you from achieving your dreams is you.